Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another video. So in this lesson we're going to do some work on the player GUI. So this follows on from the previous lessons where we were able to hold a block, and we're going to work now on displaying that on screen. So I'm going to begin. And let's just begin by copying this variable, the next block GUI. Let's paste that in. And we're just going to change that to the held block GUI. And that's the only variable we need to create. Now, we created this void for the set held block GUI. But we put no code in it as of yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up to the set next block GUI, and we're going to copy all these if statements, and we're going to paste it into the set held block GUI function. And we'll actually begin at the top of the function. We'll create another if statement, and if open and close brackets, and we want the spawn underscore blocks dot held block ID equals null. And I'll quickly just put that into the comments. Then what we're going to do is we'll come to the next line and we're going to set the held block GUI to equal null. If we don't have this if block, once we release the block we're holding, it will still continue to display. We need to actually clear this variable. So that's what this if block is for. And I'll quickly put that into the comments, then set the underscore held block GUI to equal null. So let's have a look here. What we want is to copy held block ID from this fifth if block we've just created, and what we're going to do is we're going to come down these if statements and replace every instance, as you can see them highlighted on screen. And I'll swap it out in the comments also. So about halfway done. Just the last two to go now. And once we've done that, we're going to copy the underscore held block GUI this time, and we're going to paste that over where it says next block here. So just as before, I'll paste that over the top, and I'll also change it in the comments as well. So luckily this is fairly simple to get this up and running. So let's just do this last one. Okay, with that done, we're going to come to the onGUI function, and we're going to come down, and obviously we want to look for the GUI label where we print held block. And underneath here, we're going to create another GUI texture, so GUI, and we want the draw texture, open and close brackets, inside the brackets, new rect, brackets again, and we'll enter there. In fact, I'll just come to the end of the line. I can close that off, so please pause the video during this part if you just want to check that you've got all the right brackets in place. So with that said, let's get this into the comments. So draw GUI texture. And we're going to come here, and just like we've done before, we're going to say 0 plus, we'll open and close brackets again, we're going to reference the game manager dot, and then we want the screen width offset times 6. Now we'll come after this first close bracket, and we'll put a comma and we'll enter. So let's get this into the comment. So it's at this position, x-axis. And now we'll do the y-axis. So we're going to say 0 plus, again, open and close brackets, game manager dot screen height offset times 18. After this first close brackets, we're going to comma and enter again. And I'll quickly put that into the comments. So these values, as I always say when I'm doing GUI, you probably will need to experiment with those values to find the values that suit your project. I'm sure many of you have created your own GUI, so you will need to experiment. But with that said, we'll come to the next line. I'm going to put screen.width, and I'm going to put divide by 14f, comma, and then screen dot height divided by 12f, in between the closed brackets, comma, enter, and I'll put that into the comment. So these are the dimensions, so I'll put by these dimensions. And then what we are drawing, which is the held block GUI. And draw the texture currently assigned to the underscore held block GUI. And we'll save that off. So just pause the video now if you just want to check, make sure if you've got any red errors, so you can check the brackets, the commas and everything else that can go wrong with doing GUI. Just check for typos and then we can move on. And we will test out, but first I'm going to come to spawn block script, so I'll just let this recompile. Okay, with that done, let's come down to spawn held block. And let's have a look here. So if we release the block, we spawn the held block. So let's now have a look. We set the current block to equal the held. We spawn that block and we call the GUI functions. We also need to underscore held block ID is going to equal null. And I'll put this at the very end of the function. We're going to set the releasing block is now equal to false, because we've already done that here. So just a couple of lines I neglected to put in previous videos, so I'll just put those in now. And I don't think I've missed anything else out, so let's just downsize that. And we'll hit play and we'll see if everything's working. So it will count down 3 seconds. So we have an L-shaped block here. Let's hold that, which we are holding. Let's release that L-shaped block. And we've released it. So there is a little bit of issue because I can re-hold it there. And you shouldn't really be able to do that. But there's lots of little things like that which will tidy up very shortly. So just stay tuned for things like that. Same is sometimes there can be a few other little glitches. We'll work on it out. We'll probably do a full video in just polishing up these little things. Just depending on how everything else is going. So I'll just hit play again. Let's just check this out. So we've got an I-shape block falling down. Let's hold that. And again, it's shown as held. Let's release it and it will release. So that is now working. Let's stop that. Now, if you wanted to use a different coloured GUI, so reusing the ones here, but just with different colour, I'm sure you can all do that in Paint. It's very simple. All you need to do is copy and paste these in and just change the name to something like Z-shaped held or Z-shaped alt or whatever you wanted, and then just replace it in the set held block GUI. So you could do that to have different colours. If you want me to do that in a video, please let me know in the comments below and I will do so. But I'll leave it there for this lesson. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you next time. And until then, as always, bye for now.